Welcome guys. This is gonna be my video review for 13 Minutes Obsessed. Now, first and foremost, I gotta say these guys' musical influences is pretty diverse. I'm hearing a lot of different things here, but it's all good. They all pull from different things and really kind of play with musical genres here, and it's quite something to listen to. As far as what I hear anything from hardcore to death metal. Really, I hear a lot of different kinds of musical influences here. For simplicity's sake, I think I would just call them post-hardcore metal. That's kind of what I would call them. File them under good stuff. You know, they really have this sort of grittiness to their music overall, and it kind of goes well with the rhythm. They play a lot of kind of things that sound at first listen to be like, that doesn't sound right. But then after listening to it for a while, what you begin to see is that, you know, these are really artists here that are doing this. And one thing I want to say is that the rhythm that they got going on the bottom layer, you know, is really kind of a steady thing. But at the same time, you know, they add all this complexity on top of it with, you know, different kinds of funky chords and different kinds of musical sounds from the guitars and things like that. They even got a couple times where the bass kicks in and it's just almost like a bass solo, and they even have some keyboard or piano work in some of the songs, and that's quite something to listen to as well. But I want to say that there's always this sort of gritty feel that they have in the music, that it's not just regular kind of touchy-feely good music. I want to call the lyrics kind of almost like subversive, violent sort of underpinnings, where it's not so much aggressive, but it is kind of poignant and edgy. At the same time, I want to say it's stuff that you can really bang your head to, because you still got that rhythm there that they keep in all their songs. That there's always a kind of good rhythm going on that you know, you can really bang your head to. You know what I'm saying? So good on all fronts. So overall, the musical feel of the music is like they always have that steady rhythm, but then the complexity of the music really dials it up quite a bit. But yeah, I tell you what, go to Spotify and just give the album a couple of listens and really give it a chance, because at first you might think, well, this sounds kind of almost wrong the way this sounds, but upon further listening you will get there, I think. As far as the vocals go, they sound both mature and gritty, much like the music. They kind of pair that really well together. And I want to say that the vocals really drive home that gritty feel that you get from the music. Just the way it's presented in the timing of the delivery of the vocals kind of alludes to a kind of hardness to the actual music, which is cool to see. Now, as far as their bio goes, and I have read it, it seems that the band's name, 13 Minutes. Now, make sure you get this straight, that it's in Roman numerals and it's not in English. But you got to get this right. The 13 Minutes is really pulling from a lot of different things. It plays with mostly dichotomy, and in a lot of it, it's a dichotomy between life and death. And so what you see here is that So 13 minutes, if you're looking at it one way, it's like, well, every 13 minutes somebody dies by suicide. So that's an angle that they take with it. But another angle that's completely different is that if you take the number 13 and you subtract the human number of what the human number is 6, and you subtract 6 from 13, what you get is 7. And what 7 is 7 is God's number. So there's some cool interplaying things there that make it kind of depth hidden, I guess you could say. Wrapping up this review, I would say anyone who's kind of a fan of some experimental type of stuff, maybe if you're a fan of experimental metal, you'll find something to appreciate in the music here. Overall rating, I want to say, is probably a very strong 8.5 out of 10. I've heard some stuff better, but I just gave Convictions, who is really near and dear to my heart, a 7.5 out of 10, so that just tells you where I'm at here. Really great album. I sat down and listened to this thing a couple of times, and I've been listening to the singles play, and you really got to kind of immerse yourself in this one to really appreciate it, I think. But once you get there, it's quite the experience, I want to say. So yeah, I want to say with Convictions, they have really, really solid vocals there, and I want to say 13 Minutes is really close to that in terms of being there vocally, but the music in Obsessed is just pushes it up that little bit higher, I think, because of the hidden complexity in it. Well guys, that was my review for 13 Minutes Obsessed. Thanks for watching. Bye.